in her Indian Express column, argued precisely this. Her column was written before the AICC meet, but she made the point about how the Congress is a problem both with its leadership and its organizational heft. Neja, thank you so much for joining us. I want to start actually by asking you if you had any central takeaway from that big Congress meet. It was an opportunity, perhaps, for the Congress to maybe make a disruptive set of announcement, maybe change something about the way it's functioning. But none of that really happened. Did you think anything significant was said that sounded like a new beginning or a different way of thinking?
Look, I felt choosing Ahmedabad as the venue for the party was perhaps an attempt to go for the jugular, because Gujarat is the home state of Prime Minister Modi, it's the home state of Home Minister Amit Shah, and it has been the laboratory of Hindu nationalism. It's been a laboratory for the BJP for a long time. And in many ways, the takeoff of the BJP nationally has come from Gujarat. Then for the Congress to choose Ahmedabad and not Patna, where elections are due year-end, which was the normal thing to do. And many people in the Congress said privately, why not Bihar? Why are we having it in Ahmedabad? Ahmedabad elections in 2027. So it was as if you're taking the bull by the horn and say, okay, we are going to revive the party here. We are going to put our strength here. In 2017, we got 77 seats, no smaller number, when the BJP had got 99. So it's not as if they were way behind. So if they got their act together, could they really pose a challenge to the BJP, particularly as there are signs of fatigue in Gujarat with the BJP? So if you'd ask for my takeaway from the meeting, I would be dishonest if I didn't say it was disappointment.
Elaborate on why you think the meeting was a disappointment.
The party was very clear on where it lacks, where the shortcomings are. And clearly the biggest shortcoming, of course, is the organization. Barkha, you tell me one state in India today where the Congress can claim we have strengthened our organization there. Can they claim anywhere? You and I can count the number of states where the parties, the organization is weakening. It's eroding. Even in the 3 states where it went to the polls, where it thought it would win. Haryana, Maharashtra, Delhi, it's further weakened. In Gujarat and from Gujarat, what was the action plan for the party to say, this is the way we are going to rebuild the organization? Apart from, the land of Gandhi, you invoke Gandhi as, Congress is Gandhi. And you invoke Sardar Patel as an icon of the Congress. You are trying to get him back again. The BJP has co-opted Sardar Patel. So apart from references back to the history, who are the people who are going to revive the Congress organization? Who's going to look after the North? Who's going to look after the West? Who's going to look after the East? Who's going to look after the South? If they'd said, okay, these are the 4 vice presidents or executive presidents that we are going to put in charge. We are going to put in charge of Sachin Pilot. We are going to put in charge of Shashi Tharoor. We are going to put in charge of D.K. Shivkumar. We are, give names of people who are going to rebuild the organization, and people are going to work with them and they're going to be held accountable. It's not that the Congress party lacks talent. It does not. It's not that the Congress party lacks experience. It does not. But therefore, there was no concrete plan to revive the organization. That was the biggest, disappointment. And even if you had sentiment going in your favor, like you began to have in the 2024 elections, with the Dalits turning towards the Congress party, unless there is an organization to convert that sentiment into hard votes, what is the point? That sentiment is not going to add up to anything. And unless the Congress party starts to win elections, you will not attract younger people. You will not have new people coming to the organization. So it's a chicken and egg situation, but that was what was missing, a clarion call. I wish, of course, Shashi Tharoor, as you said, struck absolutely the right note. We have to strike. We have to appeal to an aspirational, a younger India, and not talk about this is not right and that is not right. Okay, many things are not right. The other side is you're not happy with, and rightly so. But what is it that the Congress party stands for today? And it's a very fast changing world. Trumpism, tariff wars, artificial intelligence. We are going to see changes by the day. What is the Congress party's plan to meet those challenges, to locate India in the larger scheme of the world alignments that are taking place equally rapidly? So those notes actually were not really struck at Ahmedabad.
So in your column, I'm going to play out the Shashi Tharoor speech, but in your Indian Express column, and I think we have a screenshot of it, in that column, you also made the point that the Congress, you believe, may have lost the will to win. You know, that there's a lack of, there's a lot of, that they're kind of waiting for Modi's fortunes to turn. That it's without a plan. They're waiting for that time when there will be a fatigue that will set in with the incumbent. Do you believe the Congress has lost the will to win?
You know, I wish I could say, no, Congress is perking up again after Ahmedabad. I feel, yes, somewhere, given the invincibility of the other side or the perceived invincibility of the other side, possibly the Congress has, internalized this to say, okay, we wait for what I call the default moment. We wait for the day when people get tired of a Modi-led BJP, and people, when they get tired and fed up and angry and there is disaffection, they will naturally turn to us because we'll be the only national alternative, even without an organization. And therefore, let's wait, let's bide our time and let's wait for that to happen. Otherwise, if they had not internalized this, the Congress would have behaved very differently, acted very differently. And I pin it down not just to that there isn't an ideology. There is an ideology. There is a need to convert that ideological frame into catchwords, slogans that the people identify with. A caste census, yes, Rahul Gandhi says a caste census. He wants to me, it's equal to, we are now going to reach out to the OBCs, Dalits, and Muslims. It's a very different focus. But that has to be translated into programs, slogans that people are excited about. The OBCs in recent elections have not been voting for the BJP, despite the talk of that census. So leave ideology, leave our organization. Yes, those are places where they need to do better, but it is that fire in their belly to say, we will come back to power and we will strategize, we will fight, we will do whatever it takes to get back to power. That is missing. It's become a soft, flabby party. And I thought maybe in Ahmedabad we'll see different signs, maybe from some of them, but overall that was not the clarion call that the country was hoping. Many in the country were hoping the Congress will strike, and it did not.